Happy New Year!
Happy New Year, Hurt. Yeah.
Here B, welcome into the NYMD Podcast 2021 edition.
Yeah. Woo, it finally came, man.
We are the vaccine that you need.
Yes, sir.
Man, listen, I'm happy it's a new year. Leave the trash behind us and just keep on stepping into this new one. Something just popped into my head, and have you seen the Geico commercial with Tag Team?
No.
Oh, you man, dude.
It just came out, I guess?
Yeah.
No. All right.
You have to watch it.
I'm sure I'll see it today watching football, right?
I hope so. If not, you're just gonna watch it right after this podcast. Because it is, matter of fact, I wish you could just watch it. Just take your phone and watch it right now. Because it's just so good. Like, you will enjoy that commercial. And because that's what I was thinking about when I'm doing my intros. It's like, this reminds me of that commercial. It's such a funny commercial. And the dad kind of reminded me of you.
What? All right,
you have to watch it. That would be. I was like, that's Brian right there.
What? Okay, all right, I got it.
You just have to watch it. You'll see it.
Okay.
Dude. Anyway, welcome on in NYMD Podcast. Kevin Hurt, not young, but that's who I'm rooting for tonight. My boy Chase tonight, 8:20 NBC. Washington, Philadelphia for the NFC East. My boy B. Sherrard, his team today plays Cincinnati to get into the playoffs. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling pretty confident, Hurt.
Yeah.
Normally I'm a little nervous.
Yep.
But I'm feeling pretty confident. Lamar Jackson not only is he undefeated against Cincinnati throughout his career, he normally tears them to shreds. I mean, rips them apart. Of course, what could have been the play of the year of 2019 with Lamar doing the 360 circle juke move touchdown. That was against Cincinnati in Cincinnati. I just feel like I'm feeling pretty confident, man. I'm feeling pretty confident. But I'm not counting Cincinnati out because they played their butts off, against Pittsburgh. I mean, they came to play against Pittsburgh and they beat Houston last week.
Yep.
But Houston didn't come to play, and we'll talk about that.
No.
Because, your boy went off this week.
Yep.
It's
the second time this season, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he went off once before.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, but we'll talk. We'll get into that. But yeah, man. But it was it was a good week in the NFL. But
was it? Was it a good week?
Not so much for the Washington football guys, but where you want to start, man? Where you want to go with this?
Well, might as well start with the NFL. We have a lot going on today.
Yeah.
We basically are covering every sport. We have the new 2021 segment, Ask Brian, which will be 3 questions about anything.
Oh, hey, okay.
I just found out about he doesn't like zebra cakes, but likes the orange cupcakes.
Yes.
Which everybody should. So I'm fine with that. College football, because we had the semifinals this past Friday.
Yes.
And just going on in our 2020 awards. So we got a lot of going on in this show today.
Yeah.
But we'll start off with what impacts us right now and today, which is the NFL. Both our teams fighting for playoff. I think your team is winning, you're in.
Yes.
My team is winning, you're in.
Yes.
So it's a lot of scenarios. I think I was looking at some of the game times, which was something that I say that bothered me.
Oh yeah, I haven't looked at the game times yet. Let me see.
Yeah, I'm about to go look at the schedule real quick, but I know your game's at 1.
Yes. Okay.
So I was looking. The Colts game's at 4:25.
Who do they play? Houston, right?
They play.
Jacksonville.
Yeah, they play Jacksonville. Now the issue for them is that if everybody else wins and they win, they're out. Still, so they're the odd team out.
Okay.
But there's no other okay, so 1:00. The teams who have to win and they're in are Dolphins, Bills, 1:00. Ravens, Bengals, 1:00. Browns, Steelers, 1:00. Am I missing anybody else? How many spots are there? 4 or 5? 4.
Four. And Indy. Indy is the only other team who could make it in.
Oh, Tennessee.
Tennessee is in.
Oh, they're in already.
Oh wait, no. Actually, hold on. Wait a minute. No, if Tennessee loses and Indy wins, then you're right. Wait a minute. No, yeah, Tennessee cannot make the playoffs. I think because
Tennessee's they're a 4:25 game. So okay, that's fine. So I didn't see that game at 4:25 because I was thinking the Colts game was the only game at 4:25 and that's about 1:00. And I'm like, if everybody else wins, there's no point of them playing. You know what I mean? Because they're out.
Man,
so if everybody wins, they're out.
Right.
So I was thinking when I was
if they lose though, because no, if everybody wins, including Indy,
they're out. They're not in the playoffs right now.
No, the Titans, if they win, they will. Right now, the Titans are the 4th seed. So if they win, they retain that 4th seed.
I'm not talking about the Titans. I'm
talking about Indy.
Colts, yeah.
Oh, okay, got it. Sorry.
No, the Titans are fine. Indy's the only team that if everybody wins, they're gone.
Right.
Even if they win.
But the Titans could still find themselves out the playoffs if they lose today.
Well, yeah. But I was just talking about the all-win scenario because I didn't see that the Titans game, for some reason, it's like the last game listed here.
Yeah.
And it was like at the bottom under like a commercial. It was like weird how it was put in here. But they should have it right behind the freaking Colts game. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I didn't see it down there. So I'm like, why would you have all those other games at 1:00 and the Colts play at 4:25 and then for everybody wins? What would the Colts have to play for?
Right.
Not only is that depressing, then you're just like, whatever. And then what if that did happen and then Jacksonville, who's sitting there trying to get Trevor, they ain't trying to win.
Well, they've clinched Trevor, so.
Yeah, they did. Because the Jets keep winning for some reason.
Yeah.
But, but we'll talk about your boy Adam Gase, I guess, in a little bit.
Oh, really?
But, yeah. So yeah, it's a red zone channel day for me. But we can discuss how we got into this position by discussing what some of the games from last week. You want to do that?
Yeah.
All right. So both of us had horrible picks last week in our Pick'em challenge.
What was the most surprising game to you from last week?
Let me get to that real quick. The most surprising game for me last week was probably, Atlanta put up a fight.
That was the game to me.
Yeah, Atlanta put up a fight. Kansas City. I want to know. I guess every other game really wasn't. Cleveland didn't have any wide receivers.
Yeah.
So, what happened? What gear does Kansas City have, and is there such thing as like a playoff gear? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me tell you something, man. Well, first of all, let's talk about this game. Yeah, this was the game that surprised me the most. 17-14. Atlanta could have won this game, man. I forgot what player it was. Had an interception in his hands and pretty much dropped it. But yeah, they won 17-14. I said on this podcast last week, man, I'm not a gambler, but if I was, I would take Kansas City in the over. Man, I would have been wrong on both counts. This is why y'all don't bet on football. You just
not at all. Do not do it.
dude, I think it was 52 points. I was like, man, this game's gonna go way over 52 points. Kansas City's gonna cover. I mean, it's not even gonna be funny. Yo, 17-14,
dude. Yes.
Like, and this was Kansas City at home. Like it's
Atlanta.
Yeah,
it's Atlanta. It's not like it's a playoff team. It's Atlanta.
Yeah. It's just amazing. This game surprised me so much. That being said, I'm not worried about Kansas City at all, man. Like people are, I hear people saying, they're coasting right now. They're bored. They're just waiting to get to the playoffs. Yeah, because when they get to the playoffs, they're going to demolish people. I mean, I'm not going to say they're going to demolish people, but that light switch is going to come on, man. They proved it last year, dude. They played every game from behind. They had to come back in every game last year that they played. I'm not worried about Kansas City at all, man. They will be fine. I know they played a lot of close games, but I just feel like a lot of times they were just toying with teams. They were just doing stuff. I'm not worried about them. They'll be all right, man.
All right. Well, the thing is, it can't be something that you continue to do. You can't do that in the playoffs. It's fine during the regular season. I think they're resting Chad Henne starting today, so Mahomes is going to get a rest, which is good.
Yeah,
you can't sit there and just keep doing this. Like I said, in the playoffs, it will come to bite you because there's going to be a team that's not going to let you come back. But again, they're getting healthy. They're just, like I said, they're setting some guys. We'll have to see. Yep. But that game was still just like, are you serious right now? Like it was so. It was weird. It was one of those weird games, but you always feel like, well, I got Patrick Mahomes. We're going to be fine.
Yeah.
This is how it feels.
Yep.
Yeah.
But as far as the other games, I mean, the Jets beating Cleveland, that wasn't really a surprise after 4 of their wide receivers had to sit. I mean, they could have won that game, but it
looks still tough when you're just throwing to your tight ends. Yeah. That's all you have is practice squad dudes, tight ends, and so the running game didn't work at all because what else are you going to do?
Right.
Yeah, so that's just kind of tough, and that's kind of the situation the Saints are going to be in today. So we'll get to that when we talk about games for today.
Okay.
So
Pittsburgh Colts last week. The Colts were pretty much left for dead, 24-7.
Yep.
But Big Ben, man, you gotta give him credit, man. Somehow he pulled that team together, and they pulled out a big win, man. Stop the bleeding last week against.
And I had Indy winning that game, so I was just like, come on, like, can I get something correct since I only had like 6 last week?
Yeah, I actually had Pittsburgh winning that game. So.
Oh, did you? Okay, yeah, I picked Indy, and for a while, like the majority of the game, I thought I had that one. So I'm like, oh, we got this. It's not even, man, they're shutting them down. I'm like, put in Jacoby. I'm like, they'll be all right. Nope. Pittsburgh in their usual somehow, how did you come back and win this game mode? And they did it.
Right.
So Pittsburgh's also one of the teams where you look at it like, how did you win that game? Like you played so bad for like 3 straight weeks, and then somehow you pull out a victory. That's just the team. I don't know.
Yeah.
They always seem to have that ability to do something like that.
Yeah. My team helped your team out last week, Kurt.
Oh, and I appreciate that. But I knew you guys would. The problem is my team didn't help my team out. So, but again, we got rid of that problem. So for all of you who follow the NY and the MD Twitter account, after the Washington football team lost to Carolina at home, I think it was that Monday, the podcast tweeted out, man, I'm hoping they need to cut Haskins because he's just garbage, straight, utter garbage, and he doesn't need to be on the team anymore. And lo and behold, I get a text message not too long after that, like, well, you got your wish. I was like, right. And he was cut. I don't know of anyone. I mean, I know he's a top 15 pick. And again, he wasn't a pick that the football brain trust wanted. That's a Daniel Snyder pick, again, as I said last week. My issue is that this team has a chance to clinch a playoff spot last week. You have a chance of a redemption story. because you want to go around gallivanting without your mask, dancing in all the videos, doing well, all that stupid stuff. But you still have a chance to redeem yourself by playing any kind of a decent game. You're playing Carolina. You could easily win this game at home. Instead, he goes out, he plays anti-Josh Fields out there, and we lose the game, and he's got to go, man. It shows you two things. One, that Ron Rivera is really running this team because Daniel Snyder wouldn't have allowed that in the past. Two, that this dude doesn't get it. Hopefully he does. I wish him well. But come on, this is your chance to take this team, who's supposed to be your team, and get them into the playoffs. And you play like trash, and you still act like you're stupid, man.
Yeah.
I was so angry.
It's just such a wasted opportunity, Hurt. Here you are, you were demoted to third string, right? You fell out of the good graces of your coach, and here you had this opportunity, man. Prove them all wrong. Work hard. You know what I mean? Like, nah, man. Not only am I gonna win this, not only am I gonna play well, but I'm gonna lead my team to the playoffs. I'm gonna show them, hey, you guys can trust me, have faith in me, don't give up on me. And he just blew it. He just totally blew it. He blew it with his immaturity and his leadership. And he probably, I'm sure he probably lost the locker room way before then, but he just had to go, man. I told you last week, I don't think he really cared about I think he cared too much about being a football player, but not being the football player for the Washington football team.
No, 100% true.
Yeah.
They stripped the captaincy from him, which I don't know how he got in the first place. I just think you inherited it as a quarterback or something. Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe Daniel Snyder gave it to him.
Probably. But the thing, they took it away and they gave it to Chase. Because Chase has been, a monster all season. I hope he comes through and introduces himself again to Jalen Hurts and tonight, and we'll see. But it's a missed opportunity for you, career-wise, personally, and all that other stuff. So
yeah,
that was just a huge disappointment. Another disappointment was the Rams. So back-to-back losses. Even though they're playing Seattle, they usually have Seattle's number. It was a close game as well for Seattle. And what happened to the Russell Wilson early in the season that was just tossing up touchdowns for fun?
Yeah.
Now they're struggling to score.
Yeah.
They're in a weird spot, but they also still have a chance to be the number one overall seed, which is
and that's crazy. They actually have a legit shot today, man. So, hey, you got to get it to them. And I will say this about Seattle. Their defense has been pretty bad this year, but they've been playing the last 4 or 5 games. I think they've held their opponents to mostly in the teens. So
they played Washington 1 week. Last week, Jared Goff broke his thumb or something. He won't even be playing today.
Yeah,
they lost most of their running backs to injury.
Yeah.
So, but again, I'm not saying there's pre-medicated circumstances. They still won the division and they're in the playoffs. But, it's still – I don't think it's going to be easy road for them regardless, to be honest. But, so Green Bay smashed Tennessee and New England smashed Buffalo. Buffalo's – I'm usually used to saying New England smashed Buffalo.
Yeah.
Buffalo smashed New England.
Woo, man.
That one, 38-9. That's – and New England started off that game pretty well.
Yeah.
And then it was downhill fast after that.
Well, the sad thing is it was some good things. It was really good just seeing the chemistry between Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. Man, he has really he has really helped out Josh Allen's career, man, because it's just so the guy always open. The guy makes touch catches. He's good after the catch. He's just such a good receiver, man. Say what?
He's okay.
Hey, he went to the greatest school in the world. That's all I know, man. So
he did not go to Towson University. He a Terp, son. But no, it was good for him to get out of the shadow in Minnesota because I don't think people looked at him as the number one. So for him going to Buffalo, establishing himself as that number one guy, and having Josh Allen there, those two have worked beautifully together.
Yeah.
So.
Now, on the negative side, man, Cam Newton, man, when he throws a ball hurt, like I'm watching him, he's like loading up the throw, like he's going to throw deep. It's like a 5-yard, 10-yard pass. It's like it looks like he put so much effort into just throwing a 5 or 10-yard pass. Like I don't know, man. I don't think he could throw anymore, man. It just looks he put so much effort into throwing the ball, man. It's kind of sad, man.
Well, you know what phrase I'm gonna use now.
What's that?
It looks like he lost a lot of his arm talent. Dude, like you said, it's almost there's two quarterbacks who I feel like they put everything into a throw. I'm just not sure how far it's gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
That's him and it's Drew Brees. Like Drew Brees, but I feel like Cam's throw is like Barkley's swing. Like I feel like there's a hitch in his giddy up somewhere where it just doesn't. I don't know if the pads. I don't know what it is, but it's like when he gets up here and he does one of these and he tries to get it, and like you said, it's a 4-yard pass.
Yeah.
Like I haven't seen him throw downfield. It's like that dude. And again, I know he recovered from COVID, but he just does not look right.
No.
He doesn't. He looks right running, but he doesn't look right throwing.
Yeah, and you gotta remember, Cam used to have an arm, man. I mean, he had one of the best arms in the league, and that was it just looked shot, man. You know, he kind of reminds me of a pitcher when the pitcher's like lost his fastball, and he's got to be like crafty, throwing breaking balls, and his fastball is just struggling to hit 90 miles an hour. That's what he looks like, man.
He's a crafty lefty.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the Davey Moyer.
Yes.
New England Patriots.
Oh man.
Because that fastball looks like it's if he throws a fastball, he's throwing those as I call them the Donovan McNabb ant killer throws. So those don't help at all.
Yeah.
So, but let's hope he doesn't turn into Donovan McNabb. All right, so let's go for the games for this week.
All right.
I think Tampa Bay. I think they're going back to the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. Playing at home against nothing to play for Atlanta. Who you got?
Yeah, I'm taking Tampa in this one. I don't think this is going to be like last week where, Atlanta hung in there. Nah. Tampa all the way, man.
Okay. We got the big game, one of the big games. Miami on the road. They don't need to win to get in. It depends on if other team loses, but other teams have easier opponents. So Miami has their hardest opponent on the road against Buffalo. Who you got?
Rudy, Dan, I know you're nervous. Don't worry. The Dolphins are winning today. The Bills have nothing to play for. Okay? Look, I know there's some nervousness about this game, but there's no way. There is no way. I guarantee you Josh Allen and the starters are not playing the entire game. They're probably going to play a quarter. They probably will even play a half. That's it. They have nothing to play for. Nothing. That 2 seed does not mean anything. So the Dolphins will win today.
I'm picking the Dolphins to win. I agree with you. I really feel like Buffalo is going to play their starters, but they're not playing the whole game.
No.
And Tua is on his own. Fitzmagic is out due to COVID protocols.
Yeah.
So there will be no pinch hitter this week. It won't be somebody. It won't be your closer. It's just going to be Tua time.
Yep.
So it's going to be Tua time, but I believe that he's going to come through, and they're going to win this game up in Buffalo. Now, hoping it's not some kind of snow fest, though. Now, it does also, to me, depend on the weather. I don't know what the weather is up in Buffalo, but hopefully it's not one of those. Now, if it's one of those games like it was in Green Bay and so I'll be a little bit worried about that. But if it's just a cold day, I think
they'll be okay. I think there was a little bit of like snow and ice in the upper in the northeastern area, but I think that's going to dissipate by the time we get to. Snow and rain is what I meant to say, like rainy snow. But I think, I think they should be good by game time.
Your game is next. Baltimore, Cincinnati, Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm picking my team here. Hopefully, it won't be a close game. This should be a win. This should be a good win. Only problem is I don't know if we have our punter today, who is also our holder.
Oh yeah. I saw that. It's like might be his first game out of 15 years.
Yeah, Sam Cook.
Yeah.
So that worries me a little bit, but hopefully we won't have to punt today. So
You shouldn't. If not, just go for it. That's right.
Right.
We got Pittsburgh playing on the road against Cleveland, who has to win.
Yeah, Cleveland's winning this game, man.
Well, Pittsburgh's resting their starters. Ben's not playing. Pouncey's not playing. A lot of their offensive guys aren't playing, which they need because, Ben, again, they didn't get a true bye week. All those dudes look like they look tired anyway.
Yeah.
So it is really good to have that going on.
Yeah, and that's the right move. That is absolutely the right move. Next on the slate, we have the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. This game has importance because the winner of this game has a chance to win the NFC East if the Washington football team loses tonight. So, Hurt, who do you have, man?
Neither one. This is tough because, if we win tonight, that's all that matters, right? So the object is just to us to win. It doesn't matter who wins this game. But they're playing at the Giants. Dallas has been playing actually pretty well. I think they're going to win this game. I think it's going to be close, but I have Dallas.
Okay. Same here. I think Dallas is going to pull this off. Hate to say it, but yeah, I think they're going to do it.
There's going to be a lot of pressure. Being a standalone game tonight, so we'll get to that. But we'll see how it works. We'll definitely see how it works.
Happy New Year.
So, all right, what we got next? We have Dallas Giants. We have Minnesota, Detroit. No one cares, right?
Next. You know how I feel about Minnesota.
Jets at New England.
I'm going Jets. Jets for their third win in a row.
Yeah, I'm going with the Jets here too. Again, no one has anything to play for. It's all pride here, but the Jets are actually coming in as the hottest team.
Yeah,
between the two. So let's see. We got Packers. Now this is a big game. 4:25 today. Packers playing for that number one seed in the NFC against Chicago, who needs to win to try to get into the playoffs. Who you got?
Yeah, I'm taking the Packers, man. Chicago really needs this game in order to get in. If they win, they're in. But the Packers are trying to get that number one seed, and like you said earlier, Seattle is on their tail, so they have to win this game. I'm taking the Packers.
Well, I think everybody should know where I'm going with this. It's got to be the MVP. It's going to be Aaron Rodgers.
The MVP.
Again, Chicago's been doing well lately. They've been doing well. Trubisky seems to be having this new performance coming in, again, but Aaron Rodgers has their number. They need, if all the teams, they need this number one seed. They just lost their tackle Bakhtiari to an ACL for the rest of the season, so that's gonna hurt them. But they need to come through and win this game to have that bye week. So they're gonna play hard, and I think they're gonna end up winning this game. It's gonna be close though, but I think they're gonna end up winning this game.
All right.
Raiders, Broncos, Raiders.
Yep.
Nothing going on there. Tennessee on the road against the Titans. Tennessee needs to win right now. They have the driver's seat. If they win, they got the division. If they lose, they could be out. So who you got this game?
This one I went back and forth on. I was really close to picking Houston. I think J.J. Watt, man, is going to light a fire under these guys today. I don't think Houston is as bad as their 4-11 record says they are. This is going to be a close game. I think it's going to be close, but I do think the Titans are going to pull it out.
I think Tennessee's going to win. I think Houston's going to have a better effort. And I think in the offseason, J.J. Watt's going to be the Reggie White to as from Philadelphia to Green Bay. And whoever he ends up next season, maybe propel that team to a Super Bowl. But it's not going to be Houston this year, obviously. So I got Tennessee.
Okay, and real quick, because we forgot to elaborate on that. So basically this week, J.J. Watt, he was doing a media press conference, and I guess somebody asked him who he feels sorry for, and he was just talking about how he feels sorry for the fans, basically talking about how this, without naming names, just saying if you don't want to come to work and if you don't want to work hard and put the effort in, with us having the greatest job in the world, why are you even here? These fans deserve more. They go buy our stuff. They care about our team. They care about us winning, and we give an effort like that. If you give an effort like that, you need to go. Man, I thought it was wow. I was like, wow, man. It's so
again, I know you weren't or you aren't, if I'm not mistaken, or were not the biggest JJ Watt fan. But
he's cool. I'm not. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's better than Mike Trout, I guess. But I'm gonna find out to get Mike Trout in every show for the rest of the year. He's the emotional, not even a more emotional. He's almost like, I'm gonna say, the figurehead. He's kind of bigger than the team. He helps the community. He's been there, was there for the Hurricane. The dude is part of everything that has happened in Houston, basically, except for being on the Astros who cheated. He did everything else. He was there for. And this, he is that franchise. But I think his time there is done, and he needs to move on, or they need to move him on. But for his speech, he was right. That team, of all the talent that they have, even though they lost DeAndre, they're still better than 4-11, but they just haven't shown it. Because that was really, they're only 3 games better than Jacksonville. 2 games better than the Jets. Think about that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, with Deshaun, who signed the extension, with a JJ Watt on defense, there's no again. I think they use the Bill O'Brien stuff kind of as a excuse as to why they're bad, but they're better than this.
Yeah.
I think they're better. So he definitely has a point in my eyes.
Yeah.
Indy at home hosting Jacksonville. I think we kind of
they're not losing to Jacksonville.
Kansas City is at home playing the Chargers. Kansas City has the number 1 seed. Chad Henne is playing this game. Most of their starters aren't playing. They're resting everybody, and I'm picking the Chargers.
Same here.
Cardinals, Rams. Both teams have to win this game. The Rams will be without a lot of their backfield. Cam Akers, Henderson, all those dudes are hurt. Their quarterback's out. I forgot the name of the guy who's taking over. But Jared Goff is out. He had a broken thumb. He had surgery.
I think John Wolford is a quarterback.
Yeah, there you go, Wolford. Yeah, so many backups. So Wolford would be in there. Cardinals, Murray's banged up. He had to lead the game last week. He looks like he's just limping around.
Yeah.
He wants to come in this game because they are going to try to make it to the playoffs. It's a tough game to call, man. Who you got?
Oh, I'm taking Arizona all the way on this one.
Okay.
Yeah, the Rams are too beat up. I don't think they're.
Yeah. With especially missing that quarterback, not even having a running game.
Yeah.
So I'm picking the Rams. Well, because I started on with I'm not going to abandon them. Remember, I was the one early in the season said they're making the playoffs. They need this game to make the playoffs, even though I'm quarterbacking that team. I don't know who Wolford is. As a matter of fact, you could be a running back at this point because I don't think they have one of those either.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely having the Rams winning home again, but it could go either way. And Kyler Murray's banged up, so that's the one thing that you kind of have going for you. All right. So speaking of being banged up, we have the Saints, who's still in for that number 1 seed, playing on the road at Carolina. Now the Saints are missing every running back they ever had.
So what happened?
So Alvin Kamara came down with COVID.
Oh, okay.
And due to protocols, Murray and all the other running backs, 4 other running backs are out.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. So basically, it's just going to be, and Michael Thomas is on IR anyway. So it's just Taysom Hill, Drew Brees. I don't even know if I would play Drew Brees. Be honest with you. I mean, unless you just want to try to get them right. But yeah, they're about their running backs in this game. So It's even though everybody's picking them to win, they're playing for the number one seed, but they're probably, I don't say probably not going to get it. I would rather probably play to the health of my team at this point. Because you need to have guys who pick up blocking assignments and all types of stuff. So they're really in a as they say, in a pickle for this game. So who you got winning this one?
Saints.
I think if Taysom Hill, whoever you want to put back there, I think the Saints, talent-wise, should win this game. So I'm picking them, but it's going to be, if they don't have that running game, which they don't, Kamara going. And I was telling somebody, so imagine if Kamara had this last week after his 6 touchdown performance and he missed out. All these people who won fantasy leagues, had him on there. What if he missed out these last 2 weeks? So, but man, he's out today, and so all the other running backs, Tavius Murray, all those other running backs are out too. But I'm picking the Saints.
And speaking of fantasy leagues, congrats to your back-to-back championship, the first ever in the Empire. So,
well, thank you very much, sir. We'll not spend any more time on that. We got Seattle. Well, they're on the road against San Francisco. Obviously, Seattle.
Yes.
And they're also still in the running for that number one seed if Green Bay loses. So if Green Bay loses, Seattle wins, they'll be the number one seed. So again, they still have something to play for, but they won't have any issue playing against the San Francisco team. Now, 8 o'clock. As someone would say, it's prime time. 8:20, NBC, Eagles, Washington. I'm going to pick last. Who you got?
The Washington football team's got to win this game, man. I don't care who has to play quarterback. I don't care if Joe Theismann.
It's not Haskins. Don't say that.
Doug Williams.
Doug Williams,
Mark Rippon. I don't care who's got to come out to play. Y'all got to win this game. Y'all winning this game, man.
You said Mark Rippon. Who's still better than Haskins? Okay, but Gus Frerotte at this point, I'd take after he butted his head and got a concussion. I'd take him at this point. My issue is this: as superstitious as I am, as we all know we are. This game has good omens for us. It's the year, it's 2021. That's Sean's number. Sean helped us get into the playoffs against the Eagles in prime time. We had to win in order to get into the playoffs many, many moons ago. I know we're going to win this game. My only issue is that I feel like someone today is going lay an egg, and I haven't picked that team yet. Now, I'm not hoping it's Washington, but some team's going to fall flat because it always happens. Like you're sitting here, say it's the Browns, and you're sitting here like, why are the Browns struggling? So it's always somebody that throws up this last game not to get into the playoffs, right? It happens every year.
Well, my pick would be Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So my pick would be Cleveland because that's what Cleveland does.
You know what?
They play no one. But my pick would be Cleveland.
You were so right. That would be so Cleveland of them to lose this game when they're resting just about everybody.
Yeah, just because they're out there nervous and this is their moment. This is their moment. And, hopefully they come through. I would like to see Cleveland in the playoffs. But, we'll see. But it is what it is. Okay. So I'm picking Washington to win the game, to win the division, and to go and head into the playoffs.
Okay. All right, man.
And then that being said, let's do our last top 5, bottom 5 of the season.
Yeah. Because you know what? I got hurt.
You got 5 on it, don't you?
I got 5 on it.
5 on it. It is now 2021. We got 5 on it. Because 2020 is now done. All right. Yes, these are original songs created by myself. All right, so we're gonna start off. Not start off. We're gonna end with a positive 5.
All right,
negative 5. So my negative bottom 5. Number 1, they took over for the Jets, who I don't even know if the Jets might even be my bottom 5 to where they're playing. But my number 1 is Jacksonville, of course, because they're the worst team in the league. My number 2 team may be a little bit of a surprise to people. I'm picking the Texans.
Wow.
I'm picking the Texans because the Jets are playing better than them, even though they have 2 more wins. But Houston looks terrible, and I don't get it. They look terrible, and I don't get it. JJ's right. I'm picking them as my number 2 team. And number 3 team, because they still have, even though they got 2 wins in a row, I still got to pick the Jets to be my number 3 team. My number 4 team, just due to their disappointing season, not even talking about the Eagles, not even talking about the Falcons or the Panthers, it's got to be Minnesota. Minnesota is just they let down a whole bunch of people. That's a playoff caliber team, and they didn't perform that way through their whole season. So that's my number 4. My number 5, my first time all season, I've had all 5 teams. I even had a whole division at one point. It was the whole NFC East was in the bottom 5. But my bottom 5 at number 5 was Dwayne Haskins. I got to put Dwayne Haskins in there. My bottom 5. I put him at number 5, not number 1, because he's had chance after chance after chance to sit there and rectify his behavior and lead this team somewhere. And he couldn't do it. And it seemed like he still hasn't learned from his lesson. So, sorry, Haskins, not to pile up on you. At least Ohio State won this weekend. So I'm gonna go ahead and say Dwayne Haskins is my bottom 5.
All right.
What do you got for your top 5?
All right, top 5. We're gonna make this nice and simple. Start from number 1, the best team in the league, as we know, the Kansas City Chiefs. Only 1 loss this year, 3-point loss to the Raiders. Coming in number 2, your Green Bay Packers. I mean, Aaron Rodgers just destroyed Tennessee in the snow, the frozen tundra of Lambeau last week. Man, they are on the rise. They just keep going and going, trying to clinch that number 1 seed today. So they're my number 2 team. The Bills, man, they are so impressive. They come in at number 3.
Yep.
The Saints, I had them at number 4. And staying in the top 5, I tried to get them out. I don't want them there, but they came back from 17 down last week and won. Big Ben and the Steelers, man, that is your top 5 teams in the NFL.
Nice. All right. Now, 2021, might as well start the year off with us arguing about something. So I guess here it goes. Who's the MVP of the National Football League?
Well, here's the thing. Pat Mahomes is the MVP. However, Aaron Rodgers is going to win the MVP award, but Pat Mahomes is the MVP of the league. I was really on the fence with this. I was like, man, they're both having such great years. One doesn't really deserve it over the other because they're just both having great years. But then I needed a tiebreaker. And the tiebreaker to me was at the AFC. Pat Mahomes plays in the AFC, which is a way tougher conference than the NFC. If you look at the competition, Pat Mahomes has beat the top teams in the AFC, the Ravens, the Titans, the Colts. He's beaten those top teams in the AFC. He's beaten top teams in the NFC. I believe, did they beat the Saints? They beat, I think they beat, huh?
Yeah, they beat the Saints.
They beat the Saints. They beat Tampa. Aaron Rodgers, he's having a great year in the NFC, which is a weaker conference, and he's lost to some of those teams that Kansas City beat.
Well, one has 1 loss, one has 3 losses. So yeah, they lost it.
Yeah. Right. So in a weaker conference. So Pat Mahomes is the MVP. However, Aaron Rodgers is going to win an MVP. He's going to get to pat his stats. I shouldn't say that. He's going to have an opportunity to.
You can't pad his stats against it.
That's not what I meant. That's why.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Patrick Mahomes is sitting today, so he's not going to get to 5,000 yards. However, Aaron Rodgers has to play today, so his stats are going to get even better. He's going to win MVP, but Pat Mahomes is the MVP of the league. No question.
Okay, you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
MVP of the league is Aaron Rodgers. I said it when we first asked this question weeks ago. I just knew his level of play. Maybe it was that game against Miami where Pat Mahomes threw 3 interceptions, which is 2 less than Aaron Rodgers has for the whole freaking season. He's got 44 and 5. The dude, without him, we all know without him on. I mean, I'm not saying without Mahomes, Kansas City is great. Kansas City has weapons. Green Bay doesn't. They have Devontae.
Oh, wait. I keep hearing this.
Oh my God, I can't. I wish I could fit. This is 2021, and you interrupt me already. Can I finish?
Because I've been sick and tired of hearing it.
Can I finish? Then you can have whatever you want to say.
I understand what you have to say. You're wrong, but go ahead.
Well, you can't. I can't. We can't.
Go ahead.
Well, I would. I was going ahead until you decided to interrupt me again.
Okay, now you're talking about me interrupting. Would you please finish your point?
I would like to finish it, but just stop interrupting.
Okay.
How
about this?
Let me finish talking for the first time ever without you interrupting in 2021. Is that cool? Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you. That'll work. Yep. You know what? Just talk to yourself. We'll need that. It's the only good ideas you get anyway. So, Aaron Rodgers, Pat Mahomes is phenomenal. You can't take away from Pat Mahomes. It's almost like taking, saying LeBron James doesn't deserve an MVP or when Michael Jordan didn't win it over somebody else. Pat Mahomes is that guy. Did you just yawn? See, this is what I'm talking about. I don't need the histrionics. I just don't. Matter of fact, if there's like a camera angle you could have where you take your picture off, that'd be great. Aaron Rodgers is the MVP, period. Without him on that team is a one-win team. He doesn't have the same amount of weapons as Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes is still, no matter what, Pat Mahomes can be an MVP from now until the day he retires. But this year is Aaron Rodgers' year. And Aaron Rodgers is the MVP, period.
Yo, how can you say Aaron Rodgers has no weapons when he has the best wide receiver in the league on his team?
Does he have the best tight end?
No.
Does he have one of the best wide receivers?
You know what? It's funny. You mentioned Tanya. You know Tanya leads the NFL in touchdowns for.
Who's throwing to him? Who's leading the league? Who's leading the league in receiving? Wasn't a wide receiver. It was a tight end for the first time ever in the history of life, right? Like Tanya's getting like 10-yard passes, not 20 yards down the field, like my boy Kelsey. I'm thinking about having Kelsey.
So Tanya's not a weapon, but yet he gets a touchdown like every game.
Who's Kelsey? Kelsey's not a weapon? If you had two guys on the team, you just set up and said he has no weapons. He has the best receiver in the league. By the way, if you mute, why don't you listen when I'm talking? That would help. I said he doesn't have the same weapons. I didn't say he didn't have any weapons.
Oh my gosh.
So
he doesn't have the best wide receiver in the league this year.
I'm not saying Devontae. I mean, look how many touchdowns he had the other weekend, which nearly freaked me out because I almost lost that fantasy game. But when you have Tyreek, you have all these other things. Mahomes is great. Mahomes could always win the MVP. Is my point. I'm not saying that he's not great. Patrick Mahomes is always great, even when he had 3 interceptions.
Why are you taking that away from him?
I'm not taking that away from him, but not every year needs to be his year, and this year's is Aaron's. That's all it is. Period. That's
he's the MVP. Period. He's not. Pat Mahomes is the MVP. He plays in a tougher conference. He has one loss, and he beat teams that Aaron Rodgers didn't beat.
But he threw for more yards. He has less touchdowns and more interceptions.
Sure, he can throw for more. That's nice, but it's not just about. It's about.
And you play what's on your schedule, Brian. They don't make the schedule up.
I understand that. Dude, I understand that, but they played the same. If you I can say that because they've played.
Can you?
Yes, because they've played.
Okay. Teams. Right. Let me. I'll just interrupt you then. How's that?
Yeah, that's fine. If you take the teams that Pat Mahomes has played. The same teams that they've played, Pat Mahomes beat. Same thing. So you can actually do a comparison there.
So who's going to win MVP again?
Aaron Rodgers is going to win.
All right. Where are we going on to next? We going to our 2020 awards?
Well, no. First, we got to talk about baseball. Because
the MLB, okay.
Yeah. Because first of all, we got to talk about there was some barriers broken. The barrier broken this week in baseball.
And basketball.
Okay. Oh, yeah, and basketball. That is correct. just want to give a shout out to Bianca Smith. I hate the team, the Red Sox, but they hired the first African-American woman to coach in a professional level in Major League Baseball. And she's gonna be coaching in the minor leagues this year, which is awesome. I think she's gonna be an assistant hitting coach, I believe. But I just think that's great, man. I think
That's awesome. I mean, again, like when the Marlins, they had the first female general manager. So again, this happens to be two teams in our divisions that we don't care about. But the thing is, doesn't matter. The opportunities are there, and people need to be given a chance to perform and do the job.
Exactly, absolutely.
And that's what happened this week, even though it was just for a short period of time. So Becky Hammon, of course, she's an assistant coach with San Antonio Spurs. Popovich, kind of like Brian, kind of went off the handle. Should have got a technical throwing out the game. And after he got that, I wish I could tee you up or give you a yellow card or something. I swear. He got teed up, and Becky Hammon took control of that game. They're actually playing the Lakers that game too. They were losing at the time by a lot. They still end up losing the game, but Becky Hammon actually became the acting, head coach of the team. And that's the first time in professional sports that a woman was still in charge of a team, even if it was for a temporary circumstances. But again, I love it.
Yeah.
And she's been assistant now for almost 7 years, I believe.
Oh wow, I didn't realize.
I think she's been with the team that long, but she's just again, it's all about giving people opportunities to perform, and they can do it.
Yeah,
they can definitely do it. So shout out to everyone giving chances, and they need more chances. They need more. Again, this doesn't need to be a highlight or a story. It just needs to be something that happens regularly. Again, I know we still talk about black head coaches and things like that, but just having females in sports and that mostly male-dominated sports is something that's great because they deserve it and they need to be there. And they earn it. It's not like this is given to them.
Right.
This is something that they earn.
Yeah, the bottom line is I don't care who you are. If you're qualified to do the job, you should be given the opportunity to do the job. I don't care who you are. So
that is true. All right. So at this point, we're going to move on to something, but this is the perfect time to introduce my new segment, which is Ask Brian 3 Questions.
Oh, okay.
That's now. This questions could be about sports. It could be about anything. But because he made me angry, I want to change up the questions a little bit. So let's see. So this is the Ask Brian. We'll have some graphics up. This is like a little surprise thing. So we'll make a graphic for it. But my first question for Ask Brian today is, if you had to choose between two birds, a raven or an oriole, in a street fight, who you got? Is it Poe or Edgar or Allan or whatever his name is? Or is it the Oriole bird? Who's coming out on top?
Oh, you know who I'm picking this one. Come on. I'm picking an Oriole bird, man. He's like the OG. You know what I mean? He's been around since 1954, man. He's been around, man. Like, he's one of the greatest mascots in baseball. Come on now. Edgar Allan and Poe, they're like the new guys on the street. You know.
But is there one of them now? Or is it
it's only one. It's just Poe now. Yeah, it used to be 3 of them.
Yeah, where did Edgar and Allan go?
Exactly, man. You know what I'm saying?
But
they couldn't hang, man. So there's only one of them now. So we gotta go with the Oriole bird. Come on, man.
No, okay. I'm just saying, just in a fight. You know how crows they fight dirty. So I
understand that, but no, okay. I gotta go with the Oriole bird in this one.
All right, because I work with that. All right, question number 2: would you support Baltimore having another sports franchise?
Absolutely.
Okay. Or you would want an NBA team?
Yes.
Okay.
What I would love is for the city to build a new arena to woo an NBA team to come to Baltimore. I would absolutely support that. Can we support a third team? I honestly don't know. But if we were to get a third team, I would want an NBA team here.
I think that Baltimore could. Again, it depends on what it is. But like you said, new arena is above and beyond something that they would need.
Absolutely.
Again, they Baltimore, or what is it? I don't even know what's called anymore. Just Royal Farms Arena or something.
Yeah,
I've been there since what 1902. It's been there forever. That's where I think the Bullets played there.
Yeah,
before they moved down to Washington. I think if it came to franchises, the NBA would go probably to Seattle again first. But they were looking to expand. But I wouldn't mind, for me, being me, I wouldn't mind Baltimore having a soccer team. I would love to have a soccer franchise, even though we have DC United. You still have it would make a good rivalry. Philadelphia has a team, New York has a team. Having a nice soccer franchise, a lot of stadiums that they could play in. They can even play, start at Towson or start somewhere at Johnny U Stadium and go from there. I would love for Baltimore. And Maryland is a great soccer hub in itself.
Yeah, I was about to say that would work. I could actually see that.
So if they expanded, like an NBA team would be great. It really would. And I think there's some, because this is also a basketball town. But I would love to see a soccer team here. And third and final question for Ask Brian today is, why is it that you like making Kevin so angry?
That's man. Somebody's got to do it, right? You know what I mean? Like,
there's a lot of people that do that.
It's just funny. It's funny because, like, I think my problem is when I disagree with you so strongly, I get paid. When I have a strong opinion, it just tends to come out, and you take the brunt of it sometimes. But but it's not. Hey, it's nothing personal, man.
Oh no. Listen. This is why we've been friends forever.
Right.
That it's never. But this is why we have the show.
Right. Because
we're trying to yell at each other
all the time. This happens all the time.
We're yelling at each other over the phone. So why not take it?
Right.
So yeah, that works out. But yeah, I think people kind of just forget that. It's like again, nothing that we ever do or say is ever personal. So, it's just always a difference of whatever opinion it is. And it's fun. And that's why we had the show.
Right. It's just, the thing is, I just happen to be right, all the time. So that's a good thing.
So moving on. How are you lying this early in the year? It's the third day of the year. Good grief. Man, you're interrupted and you're lying to the people.
I have a question for you. Now, this kind of deviates.
Oh, yeah, you said you had one. My bad.
Yeah, this deviates from sports, and this will bring about a whole.
Oh, I know. I did have to see, but you changed my 3 questions. Actually, so I'll save it for next week.
All right. Well, I was going to say, do you want to do this? You want to do our 2020 sports things of the year?
No. We go ahead and actually. You said you had a question. I did forget. So,
all right. Like I said, this is a deviation from sports.
That's fine. That's what we do here.
So I'll just put it to you like this: is R&B dead?
I wasn't an R&B dude, honestly. I mean, yes, I like the Jodeci, but I wasn't like a, H-Town or, end of the Road was good. There's certain songs, but I wasn't, I like Mary. Even though she was more street R&B, but I don't know. I mean, I'm just not. I'm not of this generation's songsters, so to speak.
Okay, but because it occurred to me, I was thinking about the 90s, think about all the guy R&B groups of the 90s, right? And then
it was some for everybody.
Right, and then think about all the female powerhouses, right? But, who is, I was trying to think, I honestly don't know, who is the top, R&B, who's?
Chris Brown.
Really?
I mean, if he's R&B, wouldn't he be R&B?
But he's the top R&B. Who's the top R&B singer right now? Is The Weeknd?
No, I would. I was not Party Next Door. I think I had to be Chris Brown because people love Chris Brown, right? People love Chris Brown. That's the only thing I could. It's got to be Chris Brown. And if it was a group. I have no idea who that group would be.
Yeah, dude, I was trying to think. I was just wondering this the other day. I was like, where's R&B right now? Who's hot right now? Like
I said, when Chris Brown comes out, people, like I said, he sells out all across the world. People love Chris Brown. If Rihanna ever came out with something else again, that'd be Rihanna. But she comes out with like an album every 7 years now.
Yeah. And Beyonce, she's just like in her own category, so I don't even really count her anymore.
Yeah. I believe like she's, and I believe Rihanna is a little bit above people too.
But
like, I don't know.
Dropped anything new lately? Like,
I believe he has. I'm not again.
No, I said Rihanna. No,
to ask about. Oh, you said Rihanna?
Yeah.
No, she's been working on something for like 5 years now, and everybody's been waiting for it, but it hasn't come out yet. So,
what's the hot R&B song right now? Like what's
way too many questions. I have no idea.
That's what I'm saying. Like
I don't even listen to the radio. I don't know. I don't know. Again, this is not a knock on this generation's music.
No, it's
I can't. If I was on trial, I could say I cannot answer that question. I can't. I don't know. I don't know what hot song, but whatever it is, it has Chris Brown in it. That's all I can say. That's the only thing I know is the answer to your questions are usually Chris Brown. If it's a group, it's Chris Brown. If it's a song, it's Chris Brown. That's it.
What about Biebs? Is Biebs still relevant?
I mean, I don't even know what he does anymore. Like he's making videos for Drake. So I mean, well, Drake's like R&B because he's.
I was gonna say that Drake is he like
so
R&B / hip hop like what?
Yeah, I I'm trying to think of. I can't think of people because everybody's mostly like hip hop artists.
Yeah,
so I can't sit here. I don't know. I have no idea. I can name more hip hop artists, whether they're good or bad or indifferent, than I can R&B. Because again, back in the day, R&B to me was TLC, was
SWV,
SWV, who performed on the other on New Year's Eve.
Oh, okay.
I was confused whether it was 3 of them, so I had to figure out.
Yeah.
But I didn't know there was some infighting going on.
Like you said, Barry Whitney, Mariah Carey. I mean, I don't know. I'm just confused. Like, where's R&B nowadays? I was just curious because I was. I
know, like, there's people like SZA and stuff. They come in, make a song, and they kind of go away. There hasn't been like that consistency that Mary and Mariah and all those people have had.
Yeah,
these are my opinion. You know what I mean?
So anyway,
for whoever we missed, if you watch the show, I apologize.
So you didn't help answer that question. So
no, I'm just not, dude. Again, when it comes, I can name some. Even if we go back to because people are like, oh, you didn't like H-Town, or you did. No, I hated those groups, Jagged Edge and stuff. I wasn't.
But see, that's the thing. It was the 90s were dominated by these guy groups. There was so many of them. You're just like, there were some good ones, but then there were like some forgettable ones too. Yeah, like none.
See, but my whole thing is there was always a flavor for everybody back then.
Right.
And I feel like there's less of that now.
Right. Just like hip hop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's every flavor.
Yeah.
Now it's not. I mean, there are some people like I give props to, like Kendrick. The J. Cole's of the world, I feel like are, up there. And then there's just, city girls. So there you go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
City girls. Anyway.
All right, well, thanks for not helping me out on that question. I have to do more research on that.
Yeah, I'm here to not help. When it comes to that type of music, if you ask me any other year or decade, I'm fine. But yeah, I'm not an R&B guy, man.
Okay. All right.
Give me my hip hop.
All right, man. Well, let's end off our initial 2021 podcast by going back to the year. 2021. By going back to the year 2020.
Almost. Wait, we gotta do something before we get there. College football.
Oh yeah, dude.
So college football had their semifinals on the 1st. Alabama and Notre Dame, Ohio State and Clemson. National championship will be on the 11th, which is next Monday. Notre Dame, of course, took an L, which we knew was going to happen, to Alabama. And Ohio State blew out Clemson.
dude, what in the world,
I
man?
think a lot of that had to do with their coach just yapping way too much. And I'm not a Dabo fan, probably because he's for Clemson. I'm a Florida State person. It could be that, or it could be just the fact that he just seems like a all-around jerk.
Yeah.
But,
oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. My bad.
Yeah, it just seems like he could be an all-around jerk. So he ranked, and I understand what he was saying, but it is, again, you're giving putting gasoline on the fire when you rank Ohio State 11.
Yeah.
You're about to play them in a game.
Yeah.
For a national championship berth. That's just dumb. You're playing them. You're ranking them 11th. Well, you only played 6 games. You need to play more games. They can't help that their games were canceled. They didn't help that their conference decided to start the season later.
Right.
That all those things happened. There's no makeup games, whatever. But what they did do was whoop your ass.
Yeah. I love it. Don't you love it when stuff like that happens? You know what I'm saying? Like Dabo, like you said, talking about yapping at the mouth and doing that low ranking for them. And they just come out and just spank you. It's like, I love it when things like that happen, when, things come.
When the plan comes together.
Yeah. Because it's like things always come back at you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like no matter what you do, man, when you do stuff like that, things have a funny way of always coming back to bite you in the butt, man. And I'm so glad that happened. And I think it was almost like Justin Fields was like, oh, y'all think I'm falling in the draft, or y'all don't think I'm still a top quarterback coming out? Let me just drop a couple of these bombs. I mean, he was just bombs away, man, the other night, man. And he played, he played his butt off. And they just, like you said, they just blew him away. I mean, blew them out, man. So I like the fact, like I said, I actually like Dabo. I like Clemson, but yeah, I'm kind of glad that happened to them. They needed, I think Dabo needed a little bit of humble pie the other day.
Yeah, well, he got it, but I don't think it humbled him at all. I still think he's again, when you have dominated a conference for so long, when you got 2 national championships, when you're the guy who brought Clemson back to national prominence, the only thing that's going to humble you is if another team in the same conference comes up and just starts beating you. Because again, that's what happened to Florida State, and that has to happen to Clemson. I don't know who that's going to be, but it has to happen in order to keep him quiet. If not, he's going to be back in the same situation next season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and he's just going to keep running his mouth like he normally does. So, but we actually have our show next Saturday, or this Saturday, due to all the conference games and playoff games and everything coming up. So we don't want to miss anything. So we actually have our game this Saturday. We'll have our podcast this coming Saturday to also go over the NFL playoff games and the college championship game on Monday.
Yep.
So Notre Dame and Clemson go home. Alabama again will be playing Ohio State on Monday, January 11th. So we'll see about that. All right, now we got our 2020 awards.
All right.
So break it down. How are we breaking this down?
All right, so we have 7 categories for these awards. All right, we have the Player of the Year, and this encompasses all sports. Athlete / Player of the Year, Team of the Year, Coach of the Year, Rookie of the Year, the Best Game of the Year, the Best Moment of the Year, and the Play of the Year.
Oh, did I miss Game of the Year?
Yes, you did.
I did. All right, well, I guess I'll just have to come on with the top of the dome. I got to freestyle that one.
All right.
All right, Player of the Year.
Yes.
Who you got?
The same person you have.
Oh, LeBron.
Yeah.
I was like, really? I'm surprised it wasn't Patrick Mahomes. I actually didn't pick LeBron. I picked Patrick.
Oh, really?
Yes, I picked Patrick because LeBron's going to win every other category. So I'm just not gonna. So I didn't want to be that biased. So I actually picked Mahomes as my Player of the Year.
Okay, that's cool.
He had a great. That dude. We already know how good he was. Again, he had a great Super Bowl. The guy, the team, the run him, everybody had a great, but he's the guy for that franchise. Anyone talking about somebody who's still young, but he's also still humble. He's just still he seemed like one of the guys. And for being a top tier quarterback, I think that's very hard to do, right? And I think he just fits in with that team, with that organization, with that city. And he just had a great Super Bowl, great playoff run. And so I'm picking Patrick Mahomes just for his my player.
Well, let me tell you why you're wrong, Herc. All right, because LeBron James was clearly the player. Let me stop. No, LeBron James is the player of the year, dude. Look, you know me. I love
Mahomes. Definitely won A-.
No, for LeBron, what LeBron did at the age of 36 years old, willing the Lakers to victory.
Oh, and also happy belated birthday, LeBron. My bad.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Nah, man. I mean, what that dude was amazing. LeBron went to, I think, like his 9th or 10th string finals, won his 4th championship with his 3rd team during this pandemic. And the thing about LeBron that amazes me, it's like I gain more and more respect to this dude as time goes on. It's because this guy, he doesn't do load management. He plays every game. He plays hard every game. And he's productive. Like, if you look at his stats last year, they were awesome. He could have won MVP last year.
Yeah,
really. And he's doing this at 36 years old when people start shutting down. You know what I mean? People 36 in basketball, you start shutting down. Like, your body starts shutting down. The fact this guy plays 10 full seasons, meaning from day one to the end of the year, like to the finals, and he doesn't do a lot of load management. He didn't do any load management last year. I mean, that dude was great. He was the player of the year last year. So,
yeah.
Yep.
So we got team of the year.
Now, we don't have the same answer on this one. For me, it's the Dodgers, man.
Okay. Well, we got the same area.
Oh, okay. All right. To me, it's the Dodgers. The Dodgers finally put it all together. Granted, it was a shortened season, but I actually felt good for them. I felt good for Clay Shaw. I really felt good for Mookie Betts coming over to LA and leading the Dodgers to a championship. He played his butt off in the World Series. The Dodgers, I felt good for him. I felt good for Dave Roberts. They're the team of the year for me, man.
All right. Team of the year for me is the Lakers. They spend most of they won that title in a bubble. Like, literally and figuratively, they won that in a bubble. Through everything that they went through, they were in the bubble the longest amount of time, them in Miami. It was one of the hardest championships to me to win, being in an enclosed environment without your family, friends, nobody around but you and your teammates, 24/7, 365 for those 4+ months. Like, they just ended like a couple months ago, honestly. And their season started already. So to come together, AD, LeBron win another MVP, it just their circumstances and what made them pull through. That's why I picked the Lakers. So,
okay.
The Lakers.
All right.
Were you like 10 minutes late? Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. I didn't even see this.
It just popped up. That's why. So R&B is not dead. They just play some nonsense on the radio. Well, yeah. He's not on the top. Well, okay, just give me a paragraph. Like, name the top artist, Doc? Because I don't know. There's still a great. Okay. I'm ready for you. I know you have a millennial that may know these things, so that might help out. So if you haven't, put it on there, because honestly, only person I know is Chris. But I mean, all I know is that people at work, every time Chris Brown comes out with something, oh man, Chris Brown. Everybody loves Chris. All I hear is Chris Brown. He's always, Chris Brown. That's all I hear. You act like Chris Brown's 90. I'm not old. This dude's young too, but all I know is people love Chris Brown. I mean, let me know if I'm wrong, because I'm not, but people love Chris Brown. Anyway.
Who's your coach of the year, Hurt? Because to me,
Dave Roberts.
Oh, wow.
Dave Roberts is my coach of the year. Haven't failed so many times. Haven't been cheated out of winning. This team could have made $1.5 billion excuses. Instead of everybody loves Jhené Aiko, but I mean, she's not top of the R&B game. Let's just get serious. I mean, I like her. Big Sean, her boyfriend's good too. But anyway, to fail so many times, fall on your face, and then finally come out of this whole crazy thing, all this pressure, all this failure, and actually come through. Like you said, Mookie definitely helped out. But they came through and won that World Series, man. Even though I wasn't rooting for them to win. But they came through and they earned that championship. And Kershaw had a Clayshaw. I'm just putting everybody together. Did you put Drake in as R&B? Because I'm a tad bit confused. What? Oh, yes. Chloe and Halle Berry? What?
I've actually seen them perform live, actually.
Who? Chloe and Halle?
Yeah, they opened up for Audra Day when I saw her a couple years
ago. They opened up, so they're not.
Like, but I did see them actually.
So everybody's heard of these people, right?
Yeah, I didn't realize Chloe and Halle were
still around probably because no one knows them. Okay. Anyway, don't be texting me to check the chat. I'm looking at it. These people are so rude. Who are these people? What was I saying?
Well, you were just talking about Dave Roberts.
Dave Roberts. Yeah, who's your coach?
It's funny. Same sport, different league. Me, Kevin Cash is clearly the coach. Yeah. Dude, that dude is performing miracles out there in Tampa. I don't know. Seriously, I really don't know how Tampa's doing it. Kevin Cash uses openers. I think they used openers just about the whole.
They got the same budget as our show.
Yeah, they have no budget. They use openers. I think they had only 3 legit starting pitchers. They have no superstar. They have no superstars, man.
That's for sure.
Yeah, and I think they were the top team in the AL. I mean, it's crazy. But I give that dude I just give that guy so much credit because he's doing it with next to nothing, man. And and how did they thank him? Blake Snell, see you later.
Well, the Padres are taking everybody.
Yeah,
Snell's gone. Yu Darvish is gone.
Yeah.
So again, I guess because Blake Snell didn't get to finish that game is why he left. So.
Yeah,
I can't give Kevin that because that was. I still haven't forgiven him for taking a dude that's given up 2 hits in a World Series game out of the thing. I can't and I won't. So just due to that one thing, he ain't getting nothing from me. Sorry, I can't. I've not forgotten that at all. So no coach of the year for me for him.
All right. Well, who's your rookie of the year, Hurt?
My rookie of the year is this guy. Now, I'm sure there's a whole bunch. I'm being a homer. I knew he was going to be good, but I really like The Weeknd. I'll go with her. I like her.
Yeah, okay.
The Weeknd, Party Next Door is good. They had a couple good songs that I played this year. Summer Walker. Okay, finally. You come up with some good stuff now.
I did say The Weeknd. I did.
Yeah, you did, yeah. But he's still not like, if you want to talk about the pinnacle of R&B, but he's up there.
Hey, he is doing the Super Bowl.
Yeah, who is it? I guess. What was I saying?
Who is your rookie of the year?
Yeah, Chase Young. That dude has just been. He's the captain of the team, one of the captains of the team. So there's multiple captains, but he's been a beast. He's been a beast, and he's been one of the reasons why the defense has been so good. He's getting after the quarterback, the pressures, the strip sacks. He got a fumble recovery. The dude just picked it up, the ball with his pinky, and just rolled down the sideline. He's a humble dude. He's not letting this success kind of get to him, and he's, to me, I'm just being a total burgundy and gold dude. It's Chase Young.
Okay. Well, I have rookies of the year because I couldn't choose just one. I think Justin Herbert and Ja Morant both deserve. Both were the rookies of the year for 2020.
Yeah, and it could have been Burrow too if he didn't get hurt.
Yeah,
definitely could have been Burrow. But Ja was who's hurt now. He'll be out for a couple of weeks for high ankles. But yeah, Ja Morant was a beast, and he played way more minutes than your boy Zion did.
Yeah.
but no minutes restriction this year. So
Yep.
we'll see how Zion will do in his sophomore season. All right. What do you have next?
Oh, it's the best game of the year, Hurt.
All right. Since I haven't thought of anything yet. What you got?
Well, this is totally recency bias, but I couldn't think of anything else. But that Ravens-Browns game on Monday Night Football, man, that's one of the best games I've seen. That game was so great. The back and forth, Lamar coming out of the phone booth with a Superman cape coming in, throwing a touchdown pass on 4th and 5. Baker Mayfield throwing touchdowns with like 1 minute left, 2 minutes left, 1 minute left. Justin Tucker coming in with the 55-yard field goal straight down the middle. I mean, that game was freaking awesome.
Yeah,
yeah, I know. Hey, maybe a little homerism there, but that game was awesome.
All right. Since I can't think of anything else, and because I fell asleep on this game, I'll go with that one. I'll go with that one. The thing is, the one thing to agree with you about that game is that I didn't stop hearing about it. People who aren't even fans of either one of those teams were talking about that game.
Yeah,
for the next couple of days. So it had to be great because the next day I woke up at blah, 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 just, oh my God. I'm like, I don't like either team, but that game was one of the games of the year. And, oh, yeah, I hate the Ravens. That's one of the games of the year. I hate the Browns. That's one of the games of the year. And I'm like,
right.
I guess it's got to be. So, yeah, I definitely agree with you there. But I was out. I was tired.
Yeah.
I was tired out there. So, yeah, I'll give it that one.
The best moment of the year, Hurt. What you got?
Best moment for the year for me was Sarah Fuller coming in for kicker for Vandy.
Oh, yeah.
She's the first woman to score a point because the first game she came out there, she had the kickoff. Vandy didn't score at all, so she didn't have a chance to do any extra points or field goals. But when they played their next game, she kicked the extra point. She's the first female athlete in the Power 5 conferences to score a point, especially on the football field. So that was my moment from Sarah. Just women doing big things all the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Sarah Fuller was my moment.
All right. Well, I have two. And the reason why I have two, because one's kind of a homer pick. Best moment of the year was Lamar Jackson winning MVP and giving his MVP speech. But other than that, to me, what was more impactful was when the Milwaukee Bucks decided, you know what, we're not coming out to play today. And I think this was right after. I forgot what was the event. I know something went down. Was it in Kenosha or something happened?
It was Kenosha. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Bucks said, no, we're not coming out, and that impacted the entire sports world. Baseball said, we're canceling our games the next day. Hockey, they even canceled some games. Like the NBA, they didn't play until the weekend, and I think this was during the playoffs too.
It was in the bubble. Yeah, it was during the playoffs.
Yeah, so yeah, to me that was the most impactful moment of the year.
Good, yeah, that's a good one. What we got?
And then last is play of the year, Hurt.
All right, now mine's a little bit off the cuff.
Mine's really off the cuff. So.
Okay. Well, my play of the year is Maya Moore, taking off another season from the WNBA, helping Jonathan Irons, a wrongly convicted man, fighting for she heard his story. She's been fighting and missing NBA seasons for the last 2 or 3 seasons to try to get him out of jail. So he finally was released from jail after being wrongly accused and put in there for, I think, 15 years. And they get married.
Yeah.
And they got close and get married. And, man, you were talking about that play of the year, to help someone. And there's so many people like that, and unfortunately, in the system. But to get out and or to sacrifice your livelihood to help someone else get theirs back, not because she's a UConn person, it's because she's a human being for what she did. So just her as a human, just how she was raised and everything. Just shout out to Maya Moore, and congratulations to both of them.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. Well, my 2020 play of the year, this goes back to March. Rudy Gobert getting pulled for COVID because once that
He was
happened,
touching all the microphones, and I just
yeah,
remember that.
yeah. But then he got tested positive. They pulled him for COVID, and guess what? That shut sports down.
Shut it down.
Yep, that one positive test influenced all of sports in this country. So, to me, that was the play of 2020.
Yeah. I wanted to do a positive one because I was trying to stay away from COVID.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't stay away.
Well, unfortunately, 2020 is going to be defined by COVID. And, when we're talking sports, that was one of the most impactful things that happened because it shut the entire sports landscape down for the year until, the bubble started back up in the NBA. So.
All right, we got anything else before we
No, man, that's it, man.
All right, well, we'll be on Saturday, probably around the 8 o'clock hour or whatever time I decide to wake up. So hopefully be around that time. But thank you everybody for tuning in. 2021, make sure you make your list, meet your goals, wear your mask, just be safe. Download the podcast, follow us here on YouTube. We're powered by StreamYard, like NYMD Podcast. Download the podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Anywhere you find podcasts, you will find the NYMD Podcast. And, of course, all on social media, Facebook, IG, and the Twitter, which Twitter predicts the future. They said, can Haskins be cut? And they said, let there be cuts. So you never know. So follow us on Twitter, on the IG, and Facebook. Thank you, everybody. Happy New Year. And we'll see you on Saturday. Don't forget. Peace, y'all. Have a good one. Be safe.